What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another Granularity.ai tutorial. So, today's project, we're going to create an AI agent process, another one, but this one is more so going to be more descriptive, going to give more of a background, and this AI agent process is going to answer any type of machine learning questions that you might have. So this AI agent is going to have multiple agents within it that are going to be able to define the problem you're having, assess the problem, provide recommendations, as well as provide the starter code and push that starter code to a markdown that you can download, whatever it may be, and use for whatever you want to do. So that's kind of the main idea behind this AI agent process today. So I don't think I've ever really defined what an AI agent is in the uh, few videos I've already posted. So today we're going to learn how to define that. So what is an AI agent? An AI agent is a self-contained system that can perceive its environment, make decisions, and take actions to achieve specific goals, often learning and improving its performance over time. And as you can see, I have the Terminator machine here as a GIF. Um, but I don't put that to scare you, but maybe to express the idea that these agents are able to act autonomously, and they're able to kind of self-diagnose, they're able to update itself, they're able to communicate within a process with each other to then solve an issue, which I think is really cool. AI agents really are the next step in kind of this whole AI wave that we're experiencing now. I do think that the AI wave is beginning to slow down, and I think things are beginning to become more clear of how AI can be useful, how AI can be used, and where it can be used, as well as kind of creating these agents to perform specific tasks. So, some of you may remember, I think it was in 2002, maybe 2001, or 2022 or 2021. I'm sorry, where I think the all you need is attention white paper came out from Google or DeepMind, maybe. I can't remember exactly. And that kind of gave a deeper dive into large language models, the transformer models, so forth and so on. So it's a crazy thing that in a matter of 2 years, we've came to the point where we've created the ability for AI to act on its own accord and to make decisions with multiple other agents. So that's my rant right now on this slide. Let's go to the next one. So, how can AI agents be beneficial in your work, maybe in your everyday life, whatever it may be? So, number one, increase efficiency. AI agents can automate repetitive tasks, freeing up human workers for more complex and creative endeavors. Improve decision making. By analyzing vast amounts of data, AI agents can provide valuable insights and recommendations. Enhanced customer experience. AI agents can offer personalized support and services leading to higher customer satisfaction. Cost reduction. Automation of tasks and optimized processes can result in significant cost savings. 24/7 availability. AI agents can operate continuously without breaks, ensuring uninterrupted service. Now, I know most people will take a look at this list and be like, oh, AI agents can do the work of humans. If AI agents end up doing the work that I do, should I be worried? My answer to that is no. In the beginning, the main idea was that, or the main phrase that I heard a lot of people saying, and I think it's very true, is AI will not take your job, but someone who is using AI will take your job. So my suggestion is the reason behind all these videos that I'm posting now is for you to become proficient in using AI and how you can use it in your work and everyday life. Now, AI isn't used to take you away from your work, but it should be used in providing the ability for AI to do the redundant, mundane, ad hoc admin tasks that are fairly boring and that fairly kind of, are monotonous. to then free up your time to pursue fun, creative endeavors. That's the main idea behind AI. AI should not be here to take away the creativity that you have, but instead be assigned the mundane tasks that you don't want to have. So that's my philosophy on it. But without further ado, now that we kind of explain what AI agents are and how it can be beneficial, I think it's time that we then get into the project. So, with that being said, I have installed a few different packages and tools. One of them being CrewAI. There's multiple different AI processes out there that can be used. There's AutoGen, there's CrewAI, I think there's Swarm, there's the OpenAI assistants. Maybe one day I'll kind of do, there's two videos I want to do in the future. One of them is going to be the kinds of IDEs, meaning platforms best used for AI development, um, and do like a comparison review on each, just for individuals that are getting started in kind of this AI development space, as well as do another video comparing different AI agent platforms and tools. So, like I said, there's CrewAI, there's AutoGen, there's Swarm, there's OpenAI Assistants, and I believe there's a few more out there. I think someone needs to do a comparison to give you the idea on which one is best to be used for what scenario. So, like I said, CrewAI is the one I'm using here now because rather than using OpenAI, we are going to use the Ollama LLM. Um, Ollama has been kind of the big thing these days with open source and whatnot. So I think it's important that we kind of do a video on that to discuss how it can be used, how you can incorporate it into your own development, so forth and so on. CrewAI is pretty Ollama friendly, which is why I use CrewAI. But feel free to kind of, if you discover something different, let me know in the comments, give feedback, and kind of make sure you're able to help and share with everyone the information that you know. I believe in this age of AI, it's important that we share knowledge and really get the information out there to help someone else that is maybe struggling or wanting to know. Next, I'm using LangChain Grok API for this. If you are not familiar with Grok, Grok is Elon Musk's, I guess, AI platform that he's been working on for, I guess, a few years now. This is my first time using it, so we can run through it together and see what happens. But yeah, let's see. Let's get into it. But before we get into it, make sure you like and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Make sure you subscribe because that will let me know that I'm doing something right and that people actually want to view these videos. Also, hit that like button because that will let me know that I'm doing something right and you are enjoying the videos I'm putting out. Feel free to also hit the dislike button. That will let me also know that I'm doing something wrong and that maybe I should do something different. I need your feedback. I need your comments. I want them. I want to know. I want suggestions. I want you to let me know what you want next. So far, thank you for anyone who's already commented already. Thank you for anybody who's already liked already. Please hit that subscribe button. Anyways, let's dive right into it. So first, set up your def main and your main kind of functions here. And then let's kind of start getting into it. So first, let's get a few lines down there. Let's begin by defining the model we want to use. I will be copy and pasting from a past project just so that we can kind of speed this up and it doesn't take too long. But we're going to use the Llama 3 8B. So let's kind of copy or paste that here. Boom. And then let's set up the LLM config. LLM. I do like how Google kind of provides already the, what is it called? The, I mean, that's not exactly, but I do like it already kind of provides the prediction kind of thing to kind of get you going easier. And so you don't waste too much time. Temperature, let's set it to 0. Grok underscore API. And we can speed this up, copy it. Boom. Boom. Nice. And then let's do model name equals model. No, we don't really need the verbose that bad. Let's take that out so you don't waste too much lines. Boom. Cool. So that's a good start. Now let's begin defining agents. Now CrewAI to me is kind of weird a little bit, only because when you are using CrewAI, you kind of have to define the agent first and then define its task later on. I think it's kind of weird. That is one of my gripes with CrewAI, but I do think also CrewAI is very helpful and useful. So I mean, I can't be too mad at them. But we're going to create the first agent, which this agent is going to have the role of problem definition agent. So this is an agent that's going to take our question that we have, our machine learning question, and then kind of clarify that question to then begin solving it. So I've already have a goal written out that we're going to use. I'm going to read it to you guys. So the goal of this agent is clarify the machine learning problem the user wants to solve. Identify the type of problem, e.g. classification, regression, and any specific requirements. And also, if you're not familiar with CrewAI, you will need to give like a few different definitions to the agent that you're trying to create, meaning like a goal, a backstory, and a role. So here we are defining the backstory for this agent, where you are an expert in understanding and defining machine learning problems. Your goal is to extract a clear, concise problem statement from the user's input, ensuring the project starts with a solid foundation. So then let's begin verbose. This is where you apply the verbose here. This is why I didn't apply it earlier, because there was no point, because we'll be applying it later. Allow delegation. So this is something cool and interesting. You are able, if you want to delegate, and this may be like in a deeper project, but you are able to delegate tasks from an agent. So agents are able to delegate other tasks to other agents, which I think is pretty cool and pretty insightful if you think about it. And this is where you begin to realize that agents more or less can act on their own accord, which is pretty cool. Like I said, this is kind of the future of where AI is taking us and where it might be maybe sometime down the line in the next, actually probably maybe 6 months. Because I believe this whole AI agent thing is moving very, very fast. So next, we're going to set up the data assessment agent. So this is us defining that role again, like I did originally. Copy and paste that. And then we're going to include that goal of this agent. So let's go ahead, throw in that goal. And let's kind of make sure it is nice. There we go. So the goal of this agent is evaluate the data provided by the user, assessing its quality, suitability for the problem, and suggesting pre-processing steps if necessary. Now, like we did before, we need a backstory. So this is kind of the same thing that you'll do for every agent, more or less. Is role, goal, backstory. And in this backstory, we're giving the agent a backstory of you specialize in data evaluation and pre-processing. Your task is to guide the user in preparing their data set for the machine learning model, including suggestions for data cleaning and augmentation. And the same thing applies here, where we add the verbose, delegation, and LLM. This would be more or less the same down here as well. Let's copy and paste. Again, make sure you remember copy and paste. It makes life so much easier than kind of, defining everything all over again. I think a lot of people forget about copy and pasting, especially when coding. So model recommendation. This one I think is cool to me. Again, how an agent is able to kind of have a mind of its own, and begin kind of, I don't want to say manifesting, but creating or thinking even of what model is best to be used without you kind of providing examples. So let's give this a goal. I know the Google prediction already kind of defined a goal, but this one is more robust. So the goal for this model recommendation agent is suggest the most suitable machine learning models based on the problem definition and data assessment, providing reasons for each recommendation. So then, like I said before, we're going to add a backstory. And again, copy and paste this too. Boom. Backstory. As an expert in machine learning models, you recommend models that best fit the user's problem and data. You provide insights into why certain models may be more effective than others, considering classification versus regression in supervised versus unsupervised frameworks. Beautiful. And now we're going to kind of or not Google, but the Colab already kind of caught on to what we've been using, and it's already able to kind of apply what we need and do it on its own. I think AI is something so special these days that I don't think people really realize. And how it's able to kind of do the recommendation, and how it's kind of able to do exactly like thinking through, like, oh, apply this. And I think this technology has been here for a while. I mean, even before Google had the prediction kind of thing. But just being able to use Copilot, I think is a huge step in kind of development. In a recent Instagram post, I actually made or stated the opinion that I don't think AI or Gen AI developers will be needed in the future, mainly because AI or AI agents are already kind of able to upgrade and replicate and perform bug fixes on itself, So why would a Gen AI developer be needed? Instead, what I think will be needed, even in the next 6 months, is the ability to instruct AI agents in a proper way. Which is what we're doing now, right? Providing goals and a backstory to agents in a specific way so that they know exactly what to do. I guess you could call this prompt engineering, but I believe maybe instruction engineering is probably within the bubble of prompt engineering. I'm sure down the road there'll be multiple other things added to that bubble of prompt engineering, but I think instruction engineering is that first step. But anyways, now we have the starter code generator agent. This is actually going to write out the code for whatever question we ask it. So I'm going to ask it a question on creating a model for stock prediction. Should I use linear regression or XGBoost? And let it provide me an answer or a suggestion. But let's finish this up first. So starter code generation, let's say we wanted to have the goal of generate starter Python code for the project, include data loading, model definition, and basic training loop based on findings from the problem definitions, data assessment, and model recommendation. And like before, let's include a backstory. And so our backstory is you are a code wizard, able to generate starter code templates that users can customize for their projects. Your goal is to give users a head start in their coding efforts. And as you can see, we'll just add that to it. I don't know if people really like or dislike me kind of using past projects that I've done for these and then kind of copy and pasting. You let me know if you want me to actually code it out. Because again, if I ended up coding all this out here in this video, it would take maybe an hour versus kind of me kind of just copy and pasting. So anyways, you guys let me know in the comments if you want me to code it out and you want to see like the whole entire walkthrough, or if, kind of just having it copy and paste at least the words part. You let me know what you guys think. Anyways, this part I'm going to be coding and writing actual code. This is where we're going to input that question. Input. Let's do describe. Describe your ML problem. Data upload. Let's do false. And here we are. If any, the file dot ends with let's do CSV. This is us kind of hold on a second. This is us checking to see if there is a file, a CSV file already in the directory or not, that you might have uploaded, just in case. And then sample FP equals file for file in. Is that the that might be it actually. File in OS list. I actually forgot the last bracket. There we go. Beautiful. Now we want to make sure that it can try to read the uploaded file as a data frame, whatever file you uploaded into the directory. Read CSV sample FP dot head. We want to see just the head of the CSV file. Data. And this is if we are able to see it, then upload. True. And then print data successfully uploaded as data frame. We're not going to upload any CSV files in this project. We're just going to keep it fairly high level, and then I'm going to let you guys play with it and see what pops out. And then let's add a exception as E. Print F error reading the file and print the error. Ooh, nice. Now let's add an if statement real quick. If user, let's add a space real quick. If user question. Now, here is where we begin to define the tasks. This I'm also going to copy and paste because this also has a lot of wording. But either way, I think we're already at 24 minutes, so I don't want to spend too much time doing it. So yeah, it will be copy and pasted in terms of like the task descriptions. Also, another reason, I do got to catch a flight fairly soon, so this is kind of done in last minute kind of thing. But I really wanted to get this tutorial to you guys to make sure that you had another project to work on, and to kind of make sure that I let you know that I'm here for you, kind of providing you AI agent projects as we go. Also, if you haven't done already, before I continue, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. Also, hit that like button. Provide comments, provide feedback, provide suggestions. Let me know if you hate what I'm doing. Let me know if you love what I'm doing. Either way, any type of feedback is always helpful. So now here is the part that kind of sets CrewAI in a weird way, is where we've spent all this time kind of defining the personas of these agents, right? Now it's time to assign these agents a task, which you would already think that with a goal and a backstory, the agents should already know their tasks. But CrewAI wants you, I guess, to add more. Not sure why. But anyways, nonetheless, let's kind of get it going. Again, if you are able to maybe figure out a way to use Ollama with AutoGen, I haven't tried it out yet. I just heard that Ollama was easier to use with AutoGen. Feel free to throw a link in the comments section and let everybody know. So here's the description for the first task. Let's kind of add that here. Boom. Clarify and define the machine learning problem, including identifying the problem type and specific requirements. Here is the user's problem, and the ML problem in brackets is the question that is provided. And so let's add this right here. And then dot format ML problem equals user question. Yes, that's fairly correct. And then, oh wow, it's on a roll. I'll go back. Bring it back. And then agent equals problem definition agent. Yes. Also, I want to add that the IDE that I'm currently using is Google Colab. Now, the reason why I use Google Colab this time instead of maybe like Visual Studio or Anaconda is because it is way easier to add packages to Google Colab versus any other IDE. Obviously, because Google Colab kind of has the access to the World Wide Web, and you can kind of add whatever packages that you feel need to be included. And it does it with ease most of the time. So that's kind of why I decided to use Google Colab, because CrewAI is kind of weird to install on VS Code and whatnot. So that's kind of the reasoning behind using Google Colab. I don't know if I stated that in the first few minutes of the video, but anyways. Now, we also want to define the expected output of this task from the AI agent. As you can see, we applied the agent for this task, which is the problem definition agent. So the expected output should be a clear and concise definition of the machine learning problem. Simple and easy for the AI agent to understand. Now, let's add if if data upload. Boom. Hold on a sec. Let me kind of get this right real quick. Okay, cool. We'll figure it out later. If data upload, the task should be assess data equals, now we get a new task. And this task will be specific to the data assessment agent. And let's add the description real quick. Let's see here. So the description for this agent: evaluate the user's data for quality and suitability, suggesting pre-processing or augmentation steps if needed. Here is a sample of the user's data. This is if we provided a data frame already. The file name is called uploaded file. So the cool thing also about AI agents is that they're able to kind of access the environment that you're using. I think that's super cool. I think in VS Code and Google Colab, it's really easy. And Anaconda, it's kind of difficult for it to access certain files, I find. I don't know if this is everybody's assessment, but that's just my own experience. Anyways, dot format df equals df dot head, da, 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 da. Let's not, let's just say, we don't really need a number there. Upload file sample fp agent equals data. Yeah, it looks about right. Let's just take this out. We don't really need like a set number. I think head usually provides what, maybe the first 10, first 20, something like that. I think that's fine. And now we still have to define an expected output as well for this agent. So let's copy and paste that too. So the expected output is an assessment of the data's quality and suitability with suggestions for pre-processing or augmentation if necessary. And so let's kind of keep going here. Sorry, I'm just checking something on the other side. Cool. Now, next. And now we're going to add a else statement. Else task assesses data task da 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 da. Close, but not exactly. We're going to add a different description. Boom. Description. The user has not uploaded any specific data for this problem, but please go ahead and consider a hypothetical data set that might be useful for their machine learning problem. So this agent will provide its own or an own data set that can be used for your question, if your question pertains to any type of data. And let's see what the suggested AI agent, data assessment agent is correct. Assessment of the data's quality. I don't really like this expected output description, so I'm gonna add in my own real quick. Expected output, a hypothetical data set that might be useful for the user's machine learning problem, along with any necessary pre-processing steps. That's good. So now let's keep going. This is kind of where the easier part gets. I think we kind of passed kind of the bulk of where we do a lot of the like hands-on coding here. So just hang on tight and we are going to keep going.
And this is us adding a new task, which is a task recommend model, which is where we're going to use the model recommendation agent that we created earlier. And then we're kind of going to add that description in. Suggest suitable machine learning models for the defined problem and assessed data, providing rationale for each suggestion. And then we're going to also continue on adding the agent, adding the expected output. As you can see, there's already the predicted code that we might use, but let's kind of assess kind of how we want to do it, whether we want to kind of use the code or if we want to put in place something else. I think we're going to use a different expected output, but the model recommendation agent piece is correct. So the expected output, a list of suitable machine learning models for the defined problem and assess data, along with the rationale for each suggestion. Let's move on to the next task that we want to assign. Task, generate code, and like same thing as before, task, description, agent, expected output. So a lot of the times, depending on the structure and depending on what you're trying to do, you can copy and paste a lot of this. I mean, I think copy and pasting is man's best friend when it comes to the 21st century. So yeah, try not to waste your time kind of rewriting code that's already kind of going to be redundant and monotonous. Try to copy and paste as much as you can. So we're going to add the description, generate starter Python code tailored to the user's project using the model recommendation agent's recommendation, including snippets for package import, data handling, and model definition and training. And now let's move on to kind of creating that agent, which the agent that we're going to use for this is the generate code agent, or starter code generator agent. And then we're going to add the expected output. As you can see, it didn't predict it this time, but that's okay. We can just kind of copy and paste here from a past project. And with the expected output, Python code snippets for package import, data handling, the model definition, and training tailored to the user's project, plus a brief summary of the problem and model recommendations. Cool. So now let's move on. Hold on a sec. On to creating the crew that we're going to use. Now, this is kind of the main difference between CrewAI and AutoGen. I guess there's similarities, but the way you kind of set up the agents, I believe, is different. I think, if I can remember correctly. I don't know if there's any updates being made. But it's kind of us establishing the agents that are going to be used. So we have problem definition agent, data assessment agent, model recommendation agent, and starter code generator agent. And then we also got to assign the tasks to it. So we have multiple tasks that we've created already. That's kind of what we spend most of the time doing so far. So the first task we have is task define problem. Task assess data, task recommend model, and then task generate code. And those are, again, all the tasks that we created prior to this, literally a few minutes ago. So yeah, that's where it can help you out and kind of look back and see what you already created to then add. Or maybe it already kind of particularly what you're going to write next, so it could be easy. This is the main difference, is how you kind of run the agents. Where AutoGen, I think, uses .run, CrewAI does not. It uses kickoff, I believe. So just keep that in mind. Again, please make sure you take a look at the CrewAI documentation. Be aware of it. Things can change. Things can update. So make sure that you are steady looking over it. Make sure you are being diligent and kind of how you read the documentation. Check out my YouTube, check out other people's YouTubes to kind of get a better understanding of CrewAI. Like I said, I think there's CrewAI, there's AutoGen, there's a bunch of different AI agent frameworks you can use out there. I'm kind of more of a fan of AutoGen in my mind, I think. But CrewAI is a close second to me. I think those two will kind of take over how we develop AI frameworks moving forward. But I could be wrong and things could change. You never know what could happen in this kind of AI tech landscape. So let's run it. Boom, nice. Let's try, I want to create let's try something with a stock model, a stock prediction model. Let's try to use maybe XGBoost and logistic regression for this, because linear regression I think can be used, but I remember someone told me, I think it was actually over TikTok, I made a post and somebody actually recommended that instead of using linear regression, you might want to use logistic regression for stock data. And it did predict things. It did give me better model outputs. So yeah, that could be something helpful in the future if you're curious. Looks like we got an error, something about temperature. Oh, I think I spelled temperature wrong. Getting an error. So yeah, spelled temperature correctly now. Redid it. It should work now. Make sure you check your spelling, everybody. I want to create a stock prediction model. Should I use XGBoost or logistic regression? This is kind of the question we're posing to this ML machine learning basically consultant or assistant, I guess, and there's the output. This looks good. Let's kind of read through. Final answer. I now understand that the user wants to create a prediction model, but they're unsure about the type of algorithm to use. Machine learning model, I can predict stock price based on historical data with the goal of maximizing model's predictive power and minimizing errors. My problem type, regression problem, as the goal is to predict a continuous value based on input features. So as you can see, it's thinking through, which, I mean, depending on how you view AI these days, you could say whether it's thinking or calculating or using statistical thought processes, whatever you want to call it. Either way, I guess the broad way is just to say that it's thinking of the way to solve your problem. So yeah, so as you can see, you can see how it's thinking through. I have now clearly understood how I'm ready for the vibe problem as providing rationale for each suggestion. So this is where it's suggesting what algorithms to use. Long short-term memory, which is actually a pretty good model to use. I've used that frequently in other past projects, both in my professional life and in my own kind of content creator life. Very, very, very great algorithm. Highly recommended. Gradient boosting, random forest regressor, support vector regression, neural network, and here's where it begins to write the code for you. So, sklearn, stm, keras. Nice. Honestly, it looks pretty good. You could kind of input your own CSV into that. Whatever you download from Yahoo Finance, Google Finance, whatever it may be. Does Google have a finance thing? I don't know. I guess the only one that I know of is Yahoo Finance. But yeah, could be very beneficial. Use your own data set. Code looks decent. I will say that when you are kind of creating this, you want to more or less not just take the code and run with it, but instead take the code, use it as it may be, and then kind of, if needed, make your additional corrections, make your additional modifications so that it kind of runs how you want it to run. Don't just kind of take the code generated by AI and use it. Make sure that you are doing your due diligence to read through it and make sure it's correct and to your liking. I don't think that I don't always trust that the code is correct every single time. at the end of the day, you are the individual who's in control of the AI. You're the teacher for it. So just keep that in mind when you're using it. Also, I want to state that if you did enjoy this video, if you do like what you're learning, please smash that subscribe button. Please make sure you hit that like button. Please comment. Please leave feedback. Please leave suggestions. We want to hear from you to make sure that we're providing you the best content for you guys to learn, for you guys to become aware of AI, and for you guys to take your career to the next level with developing a portfolio of projects that are actually relevant to the times that we're in. So anyways, please like, please subscribe, and have a good night.